Very good evening, dearest friends. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be in time, as many of you, or maybe all of us, have noticed that we were needing to update the Zoom, and there was again something that I had to update 3 times, and then it was working. So anyway, wonderful, and thank you that you were persistent. And again, welcome to this meditation done on Thursdays. Master DK has been asking us to do this preparation for the reappearance of the Christ meditation on Thursdays. And also I would like to remind you that, and very deeply recommend that you would be having a notebook available and follow these thoughts what Tibetan has been putting forward. And that is for us a big thing to study and to realize that this is our main work, mainly the main work why we all have come this time as a big numbers. So we will start with the reading. We have been doing that now for some time, and we are reading from the book The Reappearance of the Christ, and that is again still the chapter 4, the work of the Christ today and in the future. Let us remind ourselves, we have been just reading about that, what Master DK was pointing out, that he's going to be known in this coming era of the New Age by like 3 different names and work by him. One name for him is the point within the triangle. Then the dispenser of the water of life, the nourisher of the little ones. And now we will continue from the page, I think this is page 86. The result of Christ's work in the triangle with the masses of men will be presentation of the first initiation, the birth of the Christ in the cave of the heart, as the basic ceremony in the New World religion. It's interesting to know that that will be his main focus even in these coming times. We are having these problems and turmoil because the Christ is stepping or is very present upon astral plane, and because the whole humanity is preparing for the first initiation. What it might be, what type of humanity is that when humanity has gone the first degree? Very interesting thought. Also interesting thought to think about the humanities in other planets. On what degree is the humanity on Venus? Because Venus is our alter ego, like representing the soul aspect. So what kind of humanity we have in Venus, in Jupiter? Well, in Mars, we know that they are behind us. But something very interesting thing to think about. So again, he will be, I will read again this, the result of his work in the triangle with the masses of men will be the presentation of the first initiation, the birth of the Christ in the cave of the heart, as the basic ceremony in the New World religion. By means of this ceremony, the masses of men in all lands will be enabled to register consciously the birth of the Christ in the heart and the being born again to which he himself referred when here on earth before. This new birth is what esotericists mean when they speak of the first initiation. It will not in the future be the experience of the occasional disciple, but the general experience of countless thousands towards the close of the Aquarian age. The purifying waters of the baptism initiation, the second initiation, will submerge hundreds of aspirants in many lands. And these two initiations, which are preparatory to true service, and the third initiation of the Transfiguration, will set the seal of Christ's mission as the agent of the great spiritual triangle which he represents. The major work of Christ, however, as far as the disciples and the definitely spiritually minded people of the world are concerned, plus the hundreds of thousands of advanced humanity, is so to nourish their spiritual consciousness and life. Have you noticed in your own life that you can say that the Christ is nourishing you, your spiritual consciousness and your spiritual life? I think we all have those experiences when we have a good contact with him and we have these vibrations very near and we can sense them. And in those moments, we can realize that it is very true that we are not living only by the mundane bread, earthly bread. We need this spiritual bread as well. So we continue. Let me go a little bit backwards. We will catch the thought. So the hundreds of thousands of advanced humanity is so to nourish their spiritual consciousness and life that they will be enabled to take the third and the fourth initiations, those of the Transfiguration and the Renunciation or Crucifixion. As esotericists know, the term little ones refers to those disciples who are babes in Christ, as the New Testament terms it, and who have taken the first two initiations of the birth and the baptism. So let us remember that when we are calling the little ones, it is the status or the child or the babe. It is the status in spiritually evolvement, spiritual evolvement within us, and it is referring to that first initiation and the second initiation. They are aware of the spiritual aspiration, which is indicative of the Christ life in their hearts. And they have subjected themselves to the process of purification, which culminate in the baptismal waters. Even though Christ was saying that you are going to be baptized by the fire. So that is like the modern baptism, that it is happening by the fires. Christ must prepare these aspirants for the higher initiations, and so nourish and aid them that they can stand before the one initiator and become pillars in the temple of God. which means agents of the spiritual hierarchy and therefore active working disciples. Hopefully we can name ourselves active and working disciples. What do you think about this idea? So when he was in Palestine centuries ago, he said, "No man cometh unto the Father but by me." No man cometh unto the Father but by me. What does it mean to you? So he has the great duty and responsibility to guide us. So it is truly the Christ who is guiding us towards the Father, that we have to go through these lower initiations where he is the initiator, and then he is opening the door to the third initiation when the first time will be initiated by the God, by Sanat Kumara. Or what Sanat Kumara is the many aspects in his function. So we should be looking these initiations, that it is not just so that we can walk directly to this great directing force, directing agent in our planet, Sanat Kumara. But we have to meet him in different ways before we can really truly see him in fifth initiation. This was a foretelling of the work which he would be called upon to do in the Aquarian era. In the first two initiations, aspirants trained by senior disciples find their way to Christ, who administers the first two initiations. But in these words, he is referring to still higher states of unfoldment. Through these initiations administered by the Christ, the disciple becomes an agent of the love of God. I think this is very powerful, what is said here, that through these initiations administered by the Christ, the disciple becomes an agent of the love of God. Do we see within us the love of God? We should be agents of the love of God. The higher initiations enable him, however, to become stage by stage an agent of the will of God. The first group knows and understands the second stanza of the invocation. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. The group which in the Aquarian age the Christ himself will nourish and prepare will know the meaning of the third stanza from the center where the will of God is known. Let purpose guide the little wills of men. Okay, we end here. This is just very, very beautiful, this little book, The Reappearance of the Christ. And this book, if you have any friends who wants to know about more about the reasons of this life here, and if they are open to think about the Christ a little bit in the vaster sense, this is a very good book to give as present. Okay, dear friends, let us now turn into our meditation. I'm just checking, do I need to translate, and maybe I will start to translate. Okay, we have first alignment. Ja nyt aloitetaan vähän kääntämään, eli ensimmäisenä virittäytyminen. Let us breathe white light. Hengitämme valkoista valoa. Drawing that from the soul. Vetäen sen sielustamme. And thus achieving alignment and inner poise. Ja siten saavutamme virittäytymisen ja sisäisen tyyneyden. See each of your co-disciples in the light. Ja näe kaikki kanssaoppilaasi valossa, in the light of the soul, sielun valossa. Aligning at the same time with your triangle members ja samalla virittäytyen kolmio kanssa jäsenisi. And visualize the flow of love and goodwill passing between the members of your triangle or triangles and through this group. Ja visualisoimme rakkauden ja hyvän tahdon virran, joka kulkee kolmioittemme ja tämän ryhmän jäsenten välillä. And also something interesting, what is said that today that comet is the closest to Earth. And let us be aware of that extra impulses during this time when this comet is near us, because it is said that they are bringing a new message. They are always indicators, something new which is descending into our solar system. Ja huomioimme, että tänä päivänä tuo kometta on lähimpänä maata, ja kometan ilmaantuminen aina kertoo jonkun uuden energian laskeutumisesta ja alusta. So what are those messages, or what is that message, what we are sent forth? Mitä ovat nuo viestit, tai mikä on se viesti, mikä meille nyt lähetetään? Stage 1. Now when we have achieved positive and intended personality quietness, kun olemme saavuttaneet positiivisen ja tarkoituksenmukaisen hiljaisuuden, formulate clearly to yourself in your own words the answers to the following questions done by Master DK. Muodosta selkeästi omin sanoin itsellesi vastaus seuraaviin kysymyksiin, jotka mestari DK on asettanut. As a member of the new group of servers, what is now your specific and fixed intention of dedicated contact with your soul? Maailman palvelijoiden ryhmän jäsenenä, mikä tällä hetkellä on sinun erityinen ja pysyvä aikomuksesi, kun olet sielussasi olevassa omistautuneessa yhteydessä? Two, is your concentrated and expressed personality purpose in line with hierarchical intention, as far as you are permitted to know it? Onko sinun keskitetty ja ilmaistu henkilökohtainen päämääräsi linjassa hierarkisen pyrkimyksen kanssa, siinä määrin kuin sinun on siitä sallittu tietää? 3. Have you in your own personal daily life earned the right because of definite effort and not so much because of success to stand with those servers who are now undertaking the work of preparation? Oletko omassa henkilökohtaisessa arkielämässäsi ansainnut oikeuden johtuen tietoisesta ponnistuksesta eikä niinkään menestymisestä seistä niiden palvelijoiden rinnalla, jotka nyt ovat ottaneet tehtäväkseen valmistelutyön? And he's pointing out those great ones and those real servers, world servers, like Master Kutumi, Master DK himself, Jesus, and Lord of the world, Lord of the civilization, Master Rakotsi. Ja hän tarkoittaa näillä suurilla maailman palvelijoilla niitä, jotka ovat todella maailman palvelijoita, kuten Kutumi, DK, itse mestari DK, Jeesus ja sivilisaatioiden herra, eli mestari Rakotsi. And also Master Moria ja tietenkin mestari Moria. Stage 2. Vaihe 2. Now having answered these three questions in the light of the soul, then say with emphasis, kun olet vastannut näihin kolmeen kysymykseen sielusi valossa, lausu nyt ajatuksella. Forgetting the things which lie behind, I will strive towards my higher spiritual possibilities. I dedicate myself anew to the service of the coming one, and will do all I can to prepare men's minds and hearts for that event. I have no other life intention. Stage 3. Visualize the world situation as best you can, and in terms of your major world interest, and with what knowledge of the world affairs you may possess. Visualisoi maailman tilanne niin hyvin kuin kykenet, sen mukaisesti mikä on pääasiallisin kiinnostuksesi ja mitä tietoa sinulla maailman asioista on. See the mass of men everywhere, glowing with the dim light. Näen nyt kaikkialla ihmismassojen hehkuvan himmeää valoa. And try to recognize the quality of it. Ja pyri tunnistamaan tuon valon laatu. And here and there points of brighter light, where members of the new group of world servers and men of spiritual intention and of loving hearts are working for their fellow men. Ja siellä täällä kirkkaamman valon pisteitä, missä uuden maailmanpalvelijoiden ryhmän jäsenet ja ihmiset, jotka ovat henkisesti suuntautuneita ja joilla on rakastava sydän, työskentelevät kanssaihmistensä hyväksi. And try to recognize that quality, the quality of that light, ja pyri nyt tunnistamaan tuon valon laatu. Now visualize through the creative imagination the vivid light of the hierarchy. Nyt visualisoi käyttäen luovaa mielikuvitustasi hierarkian elävä valo. Could you recognize the quality of that light? Ja voitko tunnistaa tuon valon laadun? See it streaming towards humanity. Näe sen virtaamassa kohti ihmiskuntaa. And slowly merging with the light which is already in humanity. Ja hitaasti sulautuen valoon, joka jo on ihmiskunnassa. And let us say the first stanza of the Great Invocation. Ensimmäinen stanza suuresta invokaatiosta. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. Now ponder upon the reappearance of the Christ. Nyt pohdi Kristuksen jälleen tulemista. Realize that no matter by what name he may be called in the many world religions, he is still the same great identity. Oivallamme, että riippumatta millä tahansa nimellä häntä kutsutaankin maailman eri uskonnoissa, hän on silti tuo sama suuri identiteetti. Reflect and speculate upon the possible results of his appearance. Pohdi ja arvioi mielessäsi hänen ilmestymisensä mahdollisia seuraamuksia. Reflect upon these 3 things what has to be in place before he can come. Pohdi näitä 3 asiaa, jotka tulee olla kohdallaan ennen kuin hän voi tulla. When a measure of peace has been restored. Kun tietty määrä rauhaa on saatu aikaan. When the principle of sharing is at least in process of controlling economic affairs. Kun jakamisen periaate on vähintäänkin prosessissa kontrolloida taloudellisia asioita. When churches and political groups have begun to clean house. Kun kirkot ja poliittiset ryhmät ovat alkaneet siivota toimiaan. then he can and will come. Silloin hän voi tulla ja tulee tulemaan. And let us say the second stanza ja toinen stanza. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. Endeavor to concentrate your fixed intention to serve and to spread love in your surroundings. Pyri keskittymään lujaan aikomuksesi palvella ja levittää rakkautta ympärillesi. Realize that in so far that we can do these things, we are attempting to blend our personal will with the divine will. Oivallamme, että siinä määrin kuin kykenemme tekemään näitä asioita, pyrimme yhdistämään persoonallisen tahtomme jumalalliseen tahtoon. Let us say the third stanza. Ja lausukaamme nyt kolmas stanza. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. Practical plans. Let us consider now practically what we can do in the coming week to further the preparations for the coming of the Christ. Pohdiskelkaamme nyt niitä käytännön toimia, mitä voimme tehdä tulevalla viikolla edistääksemme Kristuksen tulon valmistumista. Remember that you are a part of group of working forerunners. Muista, että olet osa työtä tekevien edelläkävijöiden ryhmää. Who are called this time to act and to do their part in the plan. Jotka ovat kutsuttu tähän aikakauteen toimimaan ja tekemään osan suunnitelmasta. In the presence of the angel, let us make this definite plan for the coming week. Enkelin läsnäolossa tehkäämme nyt tarkka suunnitelma tulevalle viikolle. Just have a few minutes of contemplation. Ylläpitäkäämme muutaman minuutin pohdinta. And write your plan down. Ja kirjaa tuo suunnitelma ylös. Let us respond to the vibrations of the Christ. Vastatkaamme nyt Kristuksen värähtelyihin. And let us commit ourselves in his name. Omistautukaamme nyt hänen nimelleen. We have gathered in your name, Lord Maitreya. Be with us. Me olemme kokoontuneet sinun nimesi, Herra Maitreya. Ole läsnä meissä. And welcome his presence. Toivota hänen läsnäolonsa tervetulleeksi. Through your creative imagination, just imagine that you have a contact with the Christ luovaa mielikuvitusta käyttäen. Tunnista, että sinulla on yhteys Kristukseen. And for a moment, let us have a silent moment for this. We can say this again, amazing opportunity via this descending energies. The full moon is very near. It's going to be on Sunday. The full moon in Leo, technically in Leo, in Aquarian energies. And this comet which is now bringing something, some new impulse. Let us be aware of that. Nyt täydenkuun hetki on lähellä sunnuntaina. Ja tämä kometta, joka on lähimpänä maata, joka tuo uuden viestin. So let us have 3 minutes of silence. 3 minuutin hiljaisuus. If I have understood correctly, this comet is seen somewhere there where is the Great Bear and Little Bear, or was that the constellation Draco, which is found between these two constellations. There we should be able to see this comet. And when you think about how important the Great Bear is for us and the Little Bear, which is strongly related to Sirius. So these Sirian forces and energies are poured as well, and Draco is a huge constellation which is indicating the planetary Kundalini. So very, very strong energies and very, very strong possibilities, opportunities for us. So in your own meditations, remember that. And especially when we are nearing now the sacred time of the full moon and the full moon itself. We can leave before the closing Om, we can imagining how we are standing in the sacred circle of brothers and sisters and the Christ in the center. Tähän päätökseen voimme vielä visualisoida, kuinka seisomme pyhässä piirissä. Sisarveljes piirissä ja Kristus piirin keskellä. And let us keep this vision alive during the coming week. Ja ylläpidämme tätä visiota elävästi mielessämme tulevan viikon aikana. So let us now sound the Om 3 times. Ja lausumme nyt Om 3, dedicating the threefold personality to the work of preparation, omistaen kolminaisen persoonamme valmistelutyöhön. Thank you, dearest friends. Kiitämme rakkaat ystävät. Tomorrow we have at this same time the glamour work, the dissipation of glamours, ja huomenna on sitten tähän samaan aikaan harhojen hävittämisen mietiskely. And as said, the full moon is very soon, so let us all prepare in this sacred time and try to have as much of silence if possible. Ja pyrimme tässä täyden kuun lähestymisen aikana pitämään niin paljon hiljaisuutta yllä kuin mahdollista. So now good night from Finland ja nyt hyviä öitä täältä etelästä. Lots of love ja paljon rakkautta kaikille.